Hey guys, welcome to the World According to Patrick. We're going to do something a little different this time. We're going to rank our top 10 heavy metal albums of all time. We were going to initially do thrash metal only, and I talked Tayler into this. By the way, Taylor's back. We did our ranking of our favorite Slayer albums from our worst to our favorites. So this time we're actually going to just we'll do something different and something me and him talked about. But instead of just doing our top favorite thrash albums, I figured we'd do our top 10 favorite metal albums of any genre of metal. So I think that is a little harder than we thought, right?
Way harder.
Yeah. But, and I think we'll have to do some honorable mentions too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, it was impossible to do fucking 10. What am I kidding? But, we'll do 10, then we'll bring up our honorable mentions. So I thought this would be kind of fun to do this. So we both agreed on this. You texted me. What's so funny? I texted you, or you texted me, you're like, I was gonna, we were thinking about doing something else, and you texted me, and we both had the same idea at the same time. So it kind of turned out really cool. So I thought that was neat. So you want to start it off? And I'm not doing it in any particular order, like from 10 to 1. I'm just gonna shut off 10 albums. So
I'll start off with an honorable mention. If you start off with an honorable
I'm going to do my top 10, then I'll do honorable mentions after that.
Okay.
But
all right.
however you want to do it, that's cool.
Top 10, all right.
Yeah. But I'm not going to do 10 to 1. I'm just going to just throw them out there.
Just so you guys know, this is hard to do.
Yes, it is. Very
for
hard.
For both of us.
Yeah.
And my list is not in any particular order. It's just, going down the line here. Black Sabbath, Sabotage, that's got to be in there. You have to include Sabbath anytime you talk about heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
And with my list, I didn't want any repeats of whatever band.
I did the same thing.
So
because I could have easily put 10 Black Sabbath albums, or 7 or 8 anyway. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I could have.
So I only had one of each artist. Yeah.
So
I easily could have put more than multiple on certain bands, and that's yeah.
That's what I did. This was Rodney's copy, actually.
I see the Turtles.
Yeah.
Turtles records and tapes. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And imagine that. The album's not even in there.
$6.88.
Instead, the record that's in there is Metal Church Dark.
That's a good album too. It would be my top 10. But yeah, that's funny as hell.
That's only the 4th copy that I have.
Okay. Well, I will do one. And again, I'm not doing 10 to 1, but I'm glad you brought that up because I meant to say that too. I could have easily, like Black Sabbath, and there's a couple other bands. I could have had multiple, but I'm going to just do one of each artist. So this, you're going to laugh your ass off at this. But this is Bonded by Blood by Exodus. Yes. But look at that cover.
Yes.
That's my CD cover.
Yeah, that's actually the mosh pit.
Okay.
Did you know that?
But I'm not crazy about this cover, so I had to bring out my cassette too.
Yep.
That's the cover. There's so many great songs. There's not a bad song on here. It's all on my playlist on my Spotify. You got, of course, Bonded by Blood, Exodus, and then there were none. A Lesson in Violence, Metal Command, No Love, Deliver Us to Evil, Strike of the Beast, and then there were none. A Lesson in Violence, front to back. It's perfect. This is one of the greatest albums ever made. So anyway, that'll be my number 10.
Paul Bailoff.
Yeah, Paul Bailoff, the only album he played on, but that's got to be in my top 10. Easily. I think, obviously, you like that album too. So
love that album.
Yeah. Okay. But, yeah.
You'd put that at 10?
No, I'm not doing 10 to 1.
No, I know what you mean.
It would just be one of them. There's no way possible.
One of the 10.
Yeah, one of the 10. There's no way I could go 10 to 1. It's just impossible. So I'm just going to kind of, yeah.
Some hard shit, man.
I know.
I guess number 9?
Yeah, just go ahead. Yeah.
Sad Wings of Destiny.
All right.
Judas Priest.
Yeah.
My very first Priest record. Actually, the very first album I ever bought, too.
You bought that one? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I bought it with allowance money whenever I was 7 years old.
Okay.
You know where I got it from? St. Vincent de Paul.
Oh, really?
Imagine that. Because my grandpa used to work for St. Vincent de Paul. And they had that store there in downtown Kennesaw.
Okay.
I go in there and look through their records, and they had Judas Priest in there that one day. And this is what they had, and this is the same exact one.
How old were you when you got that?
7.
7 years old. He got Sad Wings of Destiny. Good choice.
Bought it for $1.25.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
It was a good deal.
Good choice, brother.
And it was a good deal.
And I have a feeling some of our albums are going to be the same, but we did not discuss what we were going to name off, so that kind of makes it kind of cool, too. We did not have a clue what the other one's going to name off, but that's a good choice. Definitely my favorite Priest album. All right, it's another one, and it's in no particular order. And before I say this one, I could have named several Pantera albums like Vulgar Display of Power, Great Southern Trendkill. I mean, those are going to be honorable mentions, but at the end of the day, me and your uncle used to play the shit out of this album. I think it's one of the best albums ever made. That's NOLA, Down, their self-titled debut. I mean, this album is just killer. There's no filler at all in here. I mean, just Temptations, Wings, Lifer, Losing All, Stone the Crow, Swan Song. I mean, what is Bury Me in Smoke? Mm-hmm. I mean, I love this album. Album. Yeah, it's a great album. Yeah, but I had to put this one on here. I almost forgot about this album, and I can't even have this as an honorable mention because this is it still holds up. One of the greatest albums ever made. But that's could be my number 9. What is your?
Are we 8?
Yeah, number 8.
I'm looking at honorable mentions, and I'm looking at. Man, this is difficult. I guess. Well, screw it.
That's a great album.
Number 8 for me, yeah. Destruction, Eternal Devastation.
That's my favorite Destruction album.
This is actually the most expensive record I've ever bought. I paid $95 for it.
Holy shit! I don't know if I've ever paid that much for an album.
This is an original first copy from Steamhammer. Yeah.
Did you get it through Mark over at?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And man, I listen to this album religiously.
It's a great album.
One of my favorites. One of my favorite thrash bands. I mean, just in 3-piece, period. Probably the most. Between them and Corner and Rush, I mean, talk about power trios. I mean,
it's a great album.
They rip.
Yeah.
And Mike, his guitar playing, his riffs are just outrageous. And Schmear, his vocals are very distinctive.
They are.
That broken English shriek.
It's not for everybody, but I think that's a great album, though.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Between this and Infernal Overkill, yeah.
Again, all right, in no particular order here, but this is my number 8, and I think, I know you love this too. I mean, you got to have this on here. It's not for everybody, but I mean, this is metal. We're talking about Eternal Nightmare by Violence. Not a bad song on this album. A lot of these albums I chose in my top 10, there's really not a bad song on these albums that I'm choosing that I can find anyway. I mean, from start to finish, there's only 7 songs, but I mean, Eternal Nightmare, Serial Killer, Phobophobia, Calling in the Corner, TDS, Bodies and Bodies, and Kill on Command. I mean, one of the greatest albums ever made in any genre of music to me personally. And I know Sean Killian is not for everybody, but I mean, I think he's perfect for this band. Love his lyrics too, right?
I love Sean.
God, he's a poet, man, for that kind of dark music. Yeah. Eternal Nightmare, Violence. I mean, I had to have this on here.
One of the most vicious vocalists to ever exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great album. I mean, I still listen to this a lot. It's on my playlist. And I have every song. That's kind of what I went on. I started going through all my metal albums. I'm like, because I listen to a lot of stuff, but every song on here I choose. So, yeah, great album. Number 8 is Eternal Nightmare.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So number 7 for you. These are hard, I know, dude. This is impossible.
They're insanely
We're going to forget a bunch.
Number 7. Shit.
You brought a lot of stuff.
Number 7. Shit, what am I thinking? Yeah, 7.
That's a great album, too.
Bathory, the self-title. So important. Very, very important album for, from 84, which was the time it came out, till, hell, even the second wave of black metal through the late 80s, early 90s with bands like Birdsum and Mayhem and Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that just such a major impact with this album. So
Good choice.
And a great impact on me. I mean, there are classics on there. Hawthorne was a great songwriter, and his first offering here, it set the boundary, set the bar for all the black metal. So that's on there. Bathory, self-titled.
Good choice, Taylor. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that on. I'm gonna have to listen to that this weekend. Yeah, I have not listened to that in a while. It's a good album.
It's good shit.
Yeah. My number 7 should go. I mean, I love this.
Oh, I know what that is.
Well, this is the anniversary edition. I just grabbed. I didn't grab all my vinyl. I should have grabbed my vinyl. I just grabbed my CDs, and I don't know if you can see it, the glare, but SOD is Speak English or Die. Stormtroopers of Death, which is not really even a band. I mean, you got Billy Milano, who's MOD, and he's more known for this than anything. Of course, you have Charlie Bennett and Scott Ian of Anthrax, and of course you have Danny Liker from Nuclear Assault, who of course is the original bass player of Anthrax. But I mean, they made this album, and I mean, it's lightning in a bottle. There's not a bad song on here, man. This album kicks ass. The whole album kicks ass. I mean, March of the SOD and Sergeant D, and in SOD, Kill Yourself. I mean, Milano Mosh, Speak English or Die, from front to back. I mean, it's a brilliant album, and I still love this album.
That guitar tone.
It's killer. It is killer. I mean, yeah, not a bad song on here. Again, the ones I chose are usually, from front, start to finish. I mean, just great album. I mean, just great album. But that'll be number 7. So there you go. Speak English Die. Great album.
6.
Yes.
Oh.
Number 6.
Oh man. Why is this going to be so difficult?
I know. Because we're going to leave stuff out. And somebody's going to say, oh, you didn't say this album. And this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
It really is. Damn it.
You got some cassettes over there, too.
I know, man. And I haven't even brought up one of them. Number 6?
Yeah. And there is no order again. I mean, I think it's impossible.
Number 6, Razor.
Okay, cool. I figured you'd have some Razor in there. You love
Violent
that,
Restitution. Yep. That's my favorite thrash band ever right there. The most angry and aggressive shit that you can imagine, that's Razor. As far as like speed metal, thrash metal is concerned.
Mm-hmm. How many albums do they have in their catalog?
10.
Okay. That's a lot. Yeah.
9 or 10, something like that. Pretty sure it's 10.
Okay.
And then 11 if you count their live album. But this is by far the best. It's from 1988, Violent Restitution. If you haven't heard it, check it out.
I knew you'd have Razor in there. That's cool. Okay, number 6, of course. Duh on this one. Duh. I have this, but...
Yes.
It's Slayer, Rain in Blood. I mean, what else do I need to say? I love the back of this, too. I mean, my favorite Slayer album. One of my favorite albums ever of all time. First album I ever got from Slayer. Very quick album. Almost an EP. When you get the cassette, it was on one side and flip over and play that same album all over again. But, I mean, front to back, perfect. I mean, just a killer album. I mean, I could have South of Heaven from Slayer on here, too. But, I mean, it's just a great album. Fantastic. Jeff Hanneman dominates this album. A lot of his songs. But, great album. And that is Rain and Blood, Slayer. Number 5. Right? Yeah. Yep.
We have 5?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, this is a hard decision. I'm kind of going and picking the best as I go along here with you. So, looking at what I got, number 5. Yeah. I got my copy here. Exodus, Bonded by Blood. Nothing but a classic, and
it's a great album, man.
I've been major fan of it since I was 12, 13. So
one of the best albums ever made.
Man, the riffage, Gary Holt and Ray Kunault.
Yeah,
we're not worthy. Paul Bailoff, rest in peace, man. His vocal performance was just pure aggression, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's a great album. I mean, like we said, there's nothing bad about it. I know like Sean Killian, Paul Baloff is not for everybody with his singing, but I think he fits perfect with that album, just like Paul Di'Anno did with the original Iron Maiden. He's not the greatest singer in the world, but man, he was fit perfect with those albums. Absolutely. Can't go wrong with him. Yeah, so
that's how I style my whole, everything that I do in music. I style it off of Bonded by Blood.
It's a great album. It's a classic. Exodus doesn't get enough recognition, period, to me, man.
No,
they never have. I mean, but it's a great choice. All right, well, we're at number 5, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, my favorite Megadeth, Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? I mean, that's my favorite lineup, too. You got, of course, Dave Mustaine and Dave Ellison and Chris Poland and Gar Samuelson, who don't get enough credit to me. I mean, Chris Poland is one of the greatest guitar. I love Chris Poland.
He's my favorite one.
Hell of a guitar player. I mean, he's got that, they both came from a jazz fusion band.
Him and Gar,
Yep. Yeah. And they've known each other a while. I think, to me, is by far the best lineup of the band. There's a lot of anger and aggression in this album. He was still very pissed off about getting kicked out of Metallica, but to me, that's the best of Mustaine. When he's angry and he lets it all out, that's when they just don't fire, man. It's a great album. But, I had to have this on here. Yeah, I mean, probably Wake Up Dead's my favorite.
It's a cool copy there, too.
Mm-hmm. I've got a couple different copies up there, and I didn't bring my vinyl down. But My Last Words is another one of my all-time. Good Morning Black Friday.
Yep.
But great album.
Bad Omen.
Yep. So number 4.
Number 4. Once again, I'm just kind of
I know,
winging it.
We're gonna forget. We're gonna talk about this after we're done. We didn't throw that in. And
I'm winging it.
And I did not grab one of my albums, so I'm gonna use one of yours that you've already used, actually, for one. I just thought about that. So.
All right. Well, I'm just winging it still. So I mean, I guess number 4, Master of Puppets.
We got a lot of the same stuff, yeah.
I mean, if somebody that has not been into Metallica or ever got into them wanted to get into them, this would be the album that I'd introduce them to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a toss-up between this or Ride the Lightning. But this would probably be the one, just because, I mean, this is the magnum opus with Cliff and everything. And, I mean, it's 100% just perfect. All killer, no filler.
Yeah, that's by far my favorite Metallica. That didn't kill them all, but that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice. All right, well, I guess we're down to number 3. And I'll just go ahead and go on which I'm just going, I don't have these in any order. I'm just going to echo everything you just said. I mean, that's my favorite Metallica, Master of Puppets. I mean, last album to feature Cliff Burton, who, that changed the band, of course, after he passed. I mean, that was, man. Orion's my favorite instrumental of all time, of any band, probably. And, Disposable Heroes is on a trick on here no one talks about. I mean, it's a great song. But
Leper Messiah, too.
Yeah. Mustaine had something to do with that, I heard. He didn't get any writing credit.
So I heard.
Yeah, but that's a great album. But, So, we got 2 more, man.
I thought, I think I'm at 3.
Is it? Let's see. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah. Okay. All right, 3 more. 3 more.
So number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. That's difficult.
I know. Yeah.
Number 3. Number 3, my favorite Megadeth album.
That's a good choice.
Killing Is My Business, and Business Is Good.
Hell yeah. That's a killer album, man.
That's my favorite Megadeth album. I love Peace Sells, but to me, this album just had a much more raw and more anger, more vicious, knowing that Dave had just come out of being kicked out of Metallica and he went straight in, just dick and ball swinging, man. No fucks given either. Just straight to it. And you can't beat Skull Beneath the Skin.
That's one of my favorite
Looking
songs.
Down the Cross.
Yeah, Looking Down the Cross.
The Chosen Ones.
Chosen Ones. What is the other song I love?
The cover of These Boots.
I love the first song, Last Rights Love to Death.
Last Rights Love to Death.
Rattlehead.
Yeah. Of
course, Mechanics. Yeah, that's killer.
I mean,
yeah.
4 Horsemen, basically.
Yeah,
But
pretty much. Yeah.
before the 4 Horsemen.
Who wrote the song, you know?
Dave and Cliff.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Good choice, man.
Killing is my business.
So, number 3. Did you already bring this album up? I think you did. Sad Wings of Destiny. Judas Priest. My favorite Priest. You did bring it up. Yeah, I mean, me and your uncle, this is our favorite Priest album. We used to listen to this all the time. I mean, this is not only my favorite metal album, it's one of my favorite albums ever made. I mean, from start to finish. I mean, you know, they had one album before this. I like Rock and Rolla, but this to me set the standard. It's my favorite Priest album, and always will be. It has a good place in my heart. I mean, it's a great album. I mean, Sad Wings of Destiny, Judas Priest would be number 3. So we got 2 more. Then we're going to bring up honorable mentions. So.
2 more?
Yeah, and then we can do honorable mentions after that.
I think we got the same.
We do have a lot of the same stuff. That's so funny. We did not know what we were going to pick, so that's kind of cool.
I'll kind of, I'll fix some of this, I guess. Well, no, I won't, because it's all going to be the same. But, we'll go with Killers. There's number 2. That's my favorite.
We have the same. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's my favorite Iron Maiden album. Come on, where's yours, Patrick? Come on, bring it.
All right, that's my number 2. That's my number 2 as well. I had it right here. You were looking when I put down, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. We went into this not knowing what each
Yeah.
other had. So, man.
Yeah, that's perfect, though. I think I love the Paul Di'Anno era of that, and it's such a good album.
Dude.
I listened to that the other day, and I think it blows away. I think it's by far their best album.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. Peace of Mind's great, and Number of the Beast, of course, and Iron Maiden's debut, but that album is so good, man.
Songs in there, man. Innocent Exile, Genghis Khan.
Well, I'm going to kind of cheat. Well, you go ahead and do your number 1, and I'll tell you.
Oh, you did your number 1.
You want me to do mine first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I screwed up. Grab your Black Sabbath Sabotage, because I would definitely. I love that album, and I didn't bring it down here with me, and I'm not going to stop and run off.
Even though that's not what's in it. It's Metal Church. It's in it.
I don't. Metal Church of the Dark.
This was Rodney's. I never even
688 Turtles, records and tapes. But this album here is just my favorite Sabbath, and
It's
just
mine too.
Ozzy, I don't think is ever sang his entire career solo or with Sabbath or anybody else. He sang his ass off on this album.
Absolutely.
God, what is the song where he's
Megalomania.
I mean, it's just. I highly recommend anybody who hasn't heard this album
And
check
the
it
Red.
out. God,
The
this
Red,
album is
man.
so good. Yeah, just a perfect album from start to finish. And I got a tie here. I'm going to have to throw this in there because I thought about it. And I've got 2 of my copies. And I do have Sabotage here. I thought for some reason I had the I brought 2 copies of that, but I do have it down here. And I'm going to have to throw this in there.
Oh, God, yeah.
This is one of my all-time favorite albums. I mean, start to finish. I mean, you think about Sabbath and Dio's Holy Diver, but this, I think it's better than Blizzard of Oz. If he would have stayed with that lineup of Bob Daisley and Lee Karslake and of course, Randy Rhoads, and of course, Sharon Osbourne got in the fold, but he wanted to call the band Blizzard of Oz. And Bob Daisley, no one gives that guy credit. He wrote most of this album.
Yeah, exactly.
With Randy Rhoads, of course, the greatest guitarist of all time, one of them. But, I mean, this album is so good. I mean, I had to throw that in there, too, Diary of a Madman. And we're going to mention about 40 other bands, probably. But I had to say that. But what is your number 1, brother?
Well, if somebody's looking to get into metal and they don't know where to start, I just say go with Slayer, Rain and Blood.
Rain and Blood, yeah.
And
we have so many similar stuff.
Find your way from there.
Yeah.
I mean, this was actually, Rodney's.
Oh, you hold on to that.
Yeah.
Do we have any? Do you have any other honorable mentions?
Where you flip both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no use listening to that in his Firebird, yeah.
Honorable mentions, what do you got?
Well, I got a couple here. I mean, one you're probably surprised about, and we talked about this the other day. There's a band talking about Down. COC, Corrosion of Conformity, Deliverance. There's not a bad song on that album. I mean, I could listen to that over and over and over again. I mean, I love that album.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know you like Eye for an Eye and Technocracy. I love that, but I mean, I'm telling
Animosity.
you. is another one, yeah. And, Pantera, Vulgar
Of
Display
course.
of Power and Tranquil. Sacred Right, Ignorance is a great album.
Absolutely.
Anthrax, Among the Living. I mean, Ace of Spades from Motorhead, and there's a couple others, but that's basically it. I mean, not it. We could go on and on. There's several Sabbath, Master of Reality, and Volume 4.
Honorable mentions. I brought quite a few. I wanted to add this.
Oh, you got Motorhead here.
I wanted
Perfect.
to add this into
you
the
had that on
top
vinyl.
10. I wanted to, but
One of the best.
it's a live album, so Motorhead, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Gotta add that as an honorable mention.
Right on.
Only because that's probably the greatest live heavy metal album.
And it's right before Iron Fist, right? Came out, isn't it?
No, it's right after.
Right after. Okay, it came out right
Right
after. And that's, of course, that's my favorite lineup.
It's
You have
still
Fast Eddie Clarke and
Fast
Filthy
Eddie
Ta- yeah.
and Filthy, yeah.
That's my favorite lineup of that band. And I'm so glad you brought up Motorhead because I like Another Perfect Day with Robo.
I love that album.
That's just that's a good album. I was listening to that today at the gym. It's a great album. It's very underrated. Yeah.
Gotta have very, very important. Both of these actually very important for death metal. And it's always argued who invented it. Well, debate solved. They both did. Possessed and Death.
You did good, man.
So both very, very important, and definitely it's just hard to single out top tens, man.
I'm glad you brought your stuff with you too. But yeah,
So hard. And some more very important things here that I didn't get to mention. Violence, so important with Eternal Nightmare. Like you've got that in yours, and I was gonna say the same thing. And Sepultura, Arise, very.
Yep. Beneath the Remains are my two favorite. Yeah.
Yes.
Beneath the Remains is a great album.
Absolutely. Venom, important for anybody to get into.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs to be into Venom.
Right on. Oh yeah.
And the Cro-Mags.
I'm glad you. I didn't even see.
I
knew this was
wanted
gonna happen.
I wanted to add them in the
That's
top
one of mine.
10, but I didn't know if I should, if it's classified heavy metal or if they're classified punk.
More like hardcore, almost like Agnostic Front or something. Yeah, but I agree with SOD could almost be that too though. So
Kinda.
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
But they got to be added in there.
that would be my honorable mentions too, for sure. And Sepultura, Beneath the Remains.
And Forced Entry, Uncertain Future.
That's a great album too.
One of the greatest three pieces, along with Destruction, Corner, and Rush. So that's my honorable shit. So.
Well, man, this turned out a lot better than the Slayer one. We haven't stopped. I think we were cursed when we did the Slayer album review.
Oh, we were aggravated.
I was ready to go postal, dude. But I'm glad. That all turned out good. And we're gonna, after we're done with this, go, oh man, we should have said that band or this band. But it's impossible to do all that. But if you like what you see, please hit like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Come up with something else cool. See you guys later.